What about the feeling of getting Costello music in your hand the very first time? That must have felt good.
That was exciting.
See, that means more to us probably than like chart placements and things like that. When you get your album on vinyl of all things.
Yeah, it's always vinyl.
Yeah, or you can go into a record shop and find your album. I still do it any time I go somewhere new. Like, this is the first time I've been to Australia, and I just cruised by the music shop just to make sure it was there, and it was now just some big fucking daft dream.
Heather buys them around the world.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed at her because I have to leave the shop.
Yeah.
See, that's a wife's thing though. Nice. Yeah.
Well, I think we can guarantee the album is out in the Australian stores. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
You know.
And maybe you can go and buy a few yourself. I mean, isn't that what used to happen in the old record company
help the
days? Where you
cause.
go and buy your own albums, get it on the chart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still happens now.
I don't think they can get away with it anymore. 2007, a Brit Award comes your way. Is that sort of a benchmark period in the career of the Fratellis?
It was just another crazy thing at that point to happen. Because just before that, just after that, we'd done sort of the biggest tour we'd done back home, and we played Brixton Academy in London, and it's like 4,000 or 5,000. It's the biggest sort of place you can play unless you play in an arena, and we sold out 4 nights there. That to that point was like, really, you sure it was us that done it, So then they give you a Brit Award. It seemed to be all these things were happening, and one got better than the other, and the thing is though, there's a definite, there has to, you can't keep going up, man. There's got to be somewhere else that you come down to, and I think we're maybe going through that just now. Is that thing, that little lull between all those great things and whatever the next great thing's going to be, and there is going to be another great thing. It's just not as obvious, and it's not as apparent, and it's taking its time to get there.
Well, there's been some great gigs too over the years, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Glastonbury, what's it like, a young band playing at Glastonbury for the first time?
It was amazing. I mean, we done it. We obviously done it this year, but the year before we done it, we'd kind of placed all this hype on it. And rightly so. It's Glastonbury and it's Friday night and it's the Pyramid Stage, but we really didn't. I don't think as a band lived up to the. It was a shit gig. It was very Spinal Tap. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and guitars fell apart and backdrops fell down and all the rest of it. So. But this time when we went back and played, amazingly, we were a step higher up the bill, which I found astounding.
We've always sort of found that though.
Yeah.
We'll come off stage, some nights completely, nobody can speak to us, because we are definitely our own worst self-critic, and it's the only way it should be, because too many people will tell you lies. I've lost count now of the number of times you come off gigs just going, oh God, I want to die, I want to just disappear, that was horrible. And then maybe the same festival next year, that wasn't what everybody else thought, because you've gone up the way,
Yeah.
It's nice knowing that you didn't fuck up.
Mm-hmm. What about playing with the Police? That was another big gig, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was surreal. I mean, I've had a lot of bad things to say about it, but that's just because I probably didn't articulate it that well. They were nice to us. The actual 3 or 4 dates that we did were even good fun, just to sort of hang about that size of gig for a few days. It's just the gig itself. When you get out there and play, nobody really cares. I can't remember the one place in particular that we walked on and not a peep came from anybody. And then I plugged the guitar in, hoping that would be a bit of a giveaway, and still nothing. And you're standing there going, what should I do here? Maybe I should insult them, that would wake them up.
I think we tried that as well.
And that never worked either.
You're just trying to provoke some sort of reaction. Sometimes, possibly, gigs like that were just a bit too big for us,
Yeah.
Or the Police's audiences and our audience isn't maybe the same one kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's an experience to do it, and at the end of the day we got to play Giant Stadium in New York, and
Exactly, which is why we agreed to do
That's why
it.
we've
Because
done
it
it,
just
yeah.
sounded like, that sounds pretty good fun.
Yeah.
so
And some of it was good fun.
yeah.
It just, I just think, I can't see us doing it again, anything like
Yeah,
that.
we probably wouldn't choose to do it, but it's a good thing to have in your CV. It's
Sure.
a definitely a good experience.
And does a young band like the Fratellis learn from an old band like the Police?
Absolutely.
Police were a fantastic band in their day, man. They were yeah. I mean, we've
Even
seen
now,
that
though.
they fell out and split up. Didn't
But
they?
have we
So-
noticed, like, all the bands that we've sort of been around, the older bands like The Who and The Police, you notice that none of them spend that much time together. And at first you kind of think, because you're maybe at that stage where you do spend time together, so you're kind of a bit like, oh, that looks horrible. You kind of get it now. You kind of understand that why they do it that way. You know, maybe not to the extent where the police didn't, because they seem to be completely living different lives. No, I do understand that as well, because we do kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
We were maybe being a bit judgmental about it without realising that's kind of what we do, you know.
Yeah.
And when we came to Australia on the Monday, I'm sure I saw Mince on the plane coming over at one point.
Never saw me. I was in Thailand.
But I saw Mince, and then I saw him for the gig, which was the Thursday. 3 days later. Even though he was 3 doors down in the hotel.
Well, I guess the police aren't known exactly for the love of each other, were they? That was definitely a gig for the money.
Ah, totally.
You'll end up liking each other more if you don't spend too much time together. Yeah, even in a marriage.
What are you trying to say?
I think he's proposing to you.
I think
it is, man.
You're going to get on better.